very broad. Excise tax is for a specific product. For example, the government might want to tax certain sin products. Okay, sin products are things that are bad for you. So what would they tax?
Cigarettes.
Very good, cigarettes. Okay, we want to stop people from smoking because it stresses people in the area, secondhand smoke, and then eventually they're going to have to go to the hospital, and that takes a lot of resources away from the public hospitals. Okay? So, as a result, we're going to step in and tax it. Okay? And so, a tax will shift the supply curve which way? To the left or to the right?
Left.
Very good. It's a leftward shift. Okay? So, it shifts to the left. As a result, what happens to the deadweight loss?
Bigger.
Yeah, very good. It increases. Okay? As you can see, the deadweight loss. Right? So, go ahead and take a look at all the parts. You've got the consumer surplus, tax revenue, and producer surplus. Okay? So, the vertical distance between these two supply curves is called what? The vertical distance, how would you describe that vertical distance? It's the what? Ethan.
Well, changing the price that produce the product.
Yeah, it's the, I would call it the per unit tax. Okay, I would call it the per unit tax. Right? So once you have the per unit tax, all you have to find is the amount of sales, okay, the amount of consumption by the consumers, and then you can find the tax revenue, right? So the vertical distance, so here's a way you can find this tax revenue box. Just take the vertical distance, right, between the two curves and multiply it by the new tax output. The new tax output. How do you know where the new tax output is?
Doing a vertical line to on the axis for the second supply curve.
Yeah, it's the second supply curve. It's the intersection of the new supply curve with the old demand curve.
Yeah.
Okay? You go there and then go all the way down and you'll find the output. Okay? Once you have the output, then you can multiply it by the vertical distance between the two curves, and that area is called tax revenue. Okay?
Okay.
How do you find it graphically? You can just, okay, so you start with the new equilibrium, and then you just go down to the original supply curve, okay, which is right there. That vertical distance, right, is the per unit tax. Okay? And then keep on going to find the output. So there you go, you have the tax revenue, and then let's take a look at the consumer surplus. The consumer surplus is the market equilibrium price, relative to the demand curve. Okay? At each and every single one of these output levels. So it becomes this purple triangle. Okay? And then the supply curve. Why isn't the producer surplus this entire section, class? Any ideas?
Because tax goes to the bottom.
Very good. Even though this is the price that's going to be charged at the grocery store or whatever, the 7-Eleven, where they're selling these cigarettes, right? This will be the price that they will charge. But the government will take, the distance between PB and PS. They'll take it away. Okay? As a result, the net price will be PS. Okay? And that will be their, average revenue. And you compare the average revenue with the marginal cost, and that, as a result, will give you the new producer surplus. Okay? Make sense? And what's left over, class, we call the deadweight loss. Okay? It's the difference between the optimal total surplus and the non-optimal total surplus. And that is a wrap on this topic. Okay? how about I give you some time now to go ahead and, I'll give you a scenario and you'll graph this. Okay, so what I'll do next is, how much time do I have? 10 minutes or so? Okay, class, this is what we're going to do next. I'm going to open up Twidla, and you're going to get into groups, and I'm just going to call on your group, and when your group is called, you're going to come up and add a piece to this particular model. And actually, you can do it from your seats too if you log in.